I don't care about fame. I don't care about glory, belts, undisputed, being remembered. I care about knocking motherfuckers out.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Teddy Atlas. Joyce, get this. Teddy Atlas does not expect Joshua to ever entertain a Joyce showdown. Hall of Fame trainer Teddy Atlas does not expect the two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua to step in the ring with Joyce. The two boxers sparred several times when they were amateur stablemates in Great Britain. Joshua would win the Olympic gold in 2012, while Joyce won the Olympic silver in 2016. Joyce placed himself on the map in 2022 when he captured the WBO interim heavyweight title with a dramatic knockout of former WBO champion Joseph Parker. Joshua is slated to return to the ring in the month of March as he looks to bounce back after suffering back-to-back losses against Alexander Usyk, as we know. And a fight between Joshua and Joyce would make for a major event in the UK, but Atlas highly doubts the British star would agree to that scenario. And this is what he had to say. He said, "There is no way on earth, no way that Joshua and his promoter are getting within. They wouldn't get within a 10-foot pole of Joyce in that boxing ring. No way." He said, "I've been saying this guy, Joyce, is a player. The guy's got a chin of granite. He reminds me of a younger Foreman, although I got to be careful with that because he is 38 years old. But Joyce reminds me of George Foreman when he was in his first life before the comeback. Just a big guy, a ponderous puncher, a concussive puncher, not a snappy puncher, just a blunting type puncher that does damage. He's big, he's relentless. As I said, he's got a great heart, a great chin so far, and I've been calling for this guy to be in there instead of some of the other guys to get the shot." Those are the words of Teddy Atlas in Let Me Counterpunch. I think Joyce would be a problem for anybody. Teddy Atlas, I can see why he admires the style of Joyce. Why? Because when you do look at Joyce and you see him coming forward, you see him working that reckless jab, but it's consistent. You can tell it's got some sting, some mustard on it. And he's constantly jabbing. He's constantly moving forward. He's constantly getting hit. He's constantly getting tested by that chin by guys that know how to punch like Joseph Parker and company. Okay? Even Daniel Dubois, because we all know Daniel Dubois has heavy hands. But he was still able to take those shots from those fighters, but at the same time inflict his own pain upon his opponents. So I get it. He chops with power. He's relentless. He does remind you of George Foreman. And if you're Teddy Atlas and you're old school, if you've been trained by Customato, those are the type of fighters that's going to draw you in, that's going to bring your attention there, because that's how George Foreman did it. George Foreman is old school, and the way he delivered punches, he was relentless. They chopped, they hurt, they broke fighters down, as Joe Frazier, God bless the dead, guys like that. But would that mean Joshua would ever get in the ring with him? And does that mean that Teddy Atlas is telling the truth? And I would have to say yes, but not for the reason that he is afraid of him. I think Joyce is a type of fighter that he's too good for his own good at this point, because yes, he's a threat. Yes, he could be a banana peel. Okay. Yes, he has a gas tank. Yes, he will fight anyone tooth and nail. And people know that, including Team Joshua. Okay. I don't think Team Joshua would want to get in there with Joyce, because Joyce has nothing to really offer Joshua. He's not a champion. He's not a person that he can beat up and put himself in position, even though it would be a battle, even though for the hardcore fan in anyone, they would love to see Joe Joyce versus Anthony Joshua. But Joshua is at a verge of getting right back in that seat if he's either equal or less than Joe Joyce. So fighting Joe Joyce not only would be dangerous, but it would really hold nothing that Joshua hasn't had before. Okay? When you talk about the WBO interim, Joshua was the unified champion, including the WBO. Okay, and who is the WBO champion at this point? Alexander Usyk. So he's lost back to him. But going in there and saying, well, hey, I don't think Joshua will go anywhere near Joe Joyce, that may be the truth, but I don't think it's because he's scared of him. Now, the question is, you have to ask this, would Eddie Hearn want that fight? And my guess is probably not, because for the same reason. He doesn't want to get Anthony Joshua in there. And what if Anthony Joshua isn't ready mentally? What if he's mentally wrecked? What if that meltdown after that loss to Alexander Usyk for the second time really did a number on him? Then you throw him in there with the Juggernaut, and Juggernaut just takes him out or finishes him off. Okay, so those could be real reasons why that fight won't happen. But Joe Joyce, though, to be fair, I think he should stay over at Queensberry because, you know, the politics is an issue, I feel. And Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn getting those two fighters together, I don't think it's enough money in it, even though it would sell. But it wouldn't be enough money like a Joshua Wilder or a Joshua Fury. It wouldn't be that type of fight. It wouldn't be that massive. Okay? Sure, I think the fight probably would be better, you know, especially for someone like Anthony Joshua. But would that fight sell, or basically, could that fight happen? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Teddy Atlas saying that Anthony Joshua and his promoter, Eddie Hearn, would not go anywhere near Joe Joyce. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.